In Machesney Park, firefighters worked to put out flames at a detached garage in the 1300 block of Harlem Road late Tuesday morning, that is. Crews were called just before noon, and around 12:30, the flames were extinguished. The street was temporarily blocked as first responders cleared the scene. Details about how the fire started or injuries have not been shared so far.